Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So today I'm bringing you a one sheet wonder. So I made 8 cards from the beautiful piece of DSP from, I forgot what it's called, from this paper pack, Peaceful Place. So it was just crying out to be card fronts. So the video, I probably spent about an hour and a half filming, so I've speeded it up and done a voiceover because nobody wants to sit for an hour and a half watching somebody make cards, I don't think. So I've used some wheat castella on this one. I've heat embossed with silver on that one and used wheat castella. That is the silver paper that we have, silver foil paper. That is our glittery black glitter paper. Also added some wheat castella. Then I went blue, did them both the same, just changed up the sentiment. I think they might be my favourite, not sure. And then with the two little bits of the bits of scrap, I made these 2 cards. So the same sort of design, but look quite different with the different colours. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I made them. So this is the sheet that I chose to work from, and so I am cutting it down to the size that I use for my second mat. So that is 5 and 5/8, no, 3/8, and then to 3 and 5/8. I put all the measurements on my blog, and then I'm left with a little strip at the end by doing that. And then I have this long strip in the middle, and I thought that might be quite good to use because it's got all those lovely silver snowflakes. So that's what I use for the last 2 cards. And here we are then with all of those 6 mats that are all pretty much the same. Trees just slightly in different positions. So then I'm looking at what I'm going to use to mat them onto. So I'm using the black glitter card, the silver foil, and basic grey. Because I'm cutting some glitter card, I'm changing up to one of my used blades because they do blunt your blade. So I always, when I change my blade, I keep them. I'll put a little sticker on there saying used so I know which one to use. So they're cutting to my first mat, which is 5 and 5/8 by 3 and 5/8. And anybody that watches me knows that I wouldn't waste all of that glitter card. So I am getting out my stitched rectangles and working out how to gut it. Sometimes I gut it just with the trimmer, but I decided to cut those to make them so that I could cut another piece of card to insert, and there I am showing them all cut out. And I did cut out of some cheapy card, not Stampin' Up card, a card to go in the middle because I felt as it's DSP it might show the ridge. So that is where I'm going with that one. So then I'm just looking at sort of different card bases, and I'm not sure that I like the white because it's a different white to the one on the DSP. And then I had this bright idea of using my wheat castella around the edge of the mat to make it sort of glittery, and it did work. That wheat castella was coming to the end, so I put some alcohol in it to revamp the glitter that was in it, and it worked really, really well. So this one, just in case you haven't got silver foil sheets, I'm using Versamark around the edge of that one and gonna heat emboss with some silver embossing powder, which is a good way of doing it. It's much more long-winded, and maybe if I was doing them all like this I might have thought that's a bit of a faff, but it's, you know, quite handy if you're just making one-offs just to do. I missed that whole section. So I do find that you do have to go back in and do it a second time. Rarely get full coverage with just one application of Versamark. So add some more to places where you can see the gaps, and then just sort of heat up again. Be careful not to sort of burn what's already been there, because you can burn the powder, and then it sort of goes dull. So you want to be sort of careful when you're doing it. But I have done this before when I haven't had sort of foil card, just sort of as an emergency. I do have foil card today, but I just wanted to show you different ways of matting with this. So there is just a little bit extra. That was the side that I'd only done the once, so obviously it needs to go over again to bring it to the same layers as on the rest of the mat. So just heating that up, and there it is done. So you can see there's a little bit of difference there between the silvers, but I quite like that, and it's going to have silver embossing on the sentiment. So here I am with all my mats, and I'm looking at my sentiments, and I like the Merry Christmas there from Poinsettia Petals, one of my favourites. And then It's a Wonderful Time of the Year from Tidings and Trimmings. I really like that. Reminds us of our holidays we've had in America at Christmas, because you're here, it's the most wonderful time of the year in every shop. And then from Snowflake Wishes, there is Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas, which I think goes well with the snowflakes that's in the card background. Then it looked like I felt it needed a little bit of something there to separate. So I've tied a ribbon there, and I'm looking at some of the border dies that I've got that might look good with it. And this one here from Nature's Thoughts is my favourite, and I think that's the one that works really well, and it kind of goes nice with the size. I'm still not happy with a white card base, so now I'm sort of trying out different colours cards and deciding what I might use. And just trying out the different mats with the different bases, and deciding on which one looks best. I really don't like white at all, so we're going with basic grey and black, depending on what mat I've used. So now we need to get the sentiments stamped. Oh no, first I'm going to show you how I did that bow. So this is a Connie Stewart tip, and tying the bow round an acrylic block. If you pull your knot 90 degrees to where you want your bow to lay, it will lay where you want it. So yeah, just faffing until we've got the bow how we like it. Oh, I twisted it, the loop there, so I had to sort of do it again. And then just trim the tails when we're happy with it, and then turn the block around and just snip at the back, and there you have a beautiful bow there ready to be added to the card. So now we're just going to stamp the sentiments with Versamark, and then heat emboss with silver embossing powder, and which I think goes really well. I did think about, I could have stamped with Smoky Slate without embossing, but the card is so luxurious with its silver foiling that I felt that heat embossing was the way to go with it. So I had slightly scorched that card, and that's something that you need to be careful about. And yeah, that's what I think will look nice. So I'm going to take a bit of fast fuse secure the ribbon, but I want to put a glue dot on the bow first, so I get it in the right place where I want it before I secure the tails on the back. And as I say, just a little bit of fast fuse there, and then eyeballing it to where I think it looks straight, and then just cut off those excess bits of ribbon to cut down on the bulk. So then to glue it down, because we've got a hole, I'm going around the edge of the aperture that I made and then the edge of the DSP, so I know that it's going to be secured to that cutout mat really well. And then taking my piece of GP card that I've got, I'm going to secure that in the centre so that we've got a nice hard base. Of course, if you don't have to gut like I do, but I just think it looks nice done like that. So then that can mount on there, and because I've put that bit in the centre, I can actually pop it up on dimensionals, which I don't think I'd have done if I hadn't have added that bit of card in the middle, because it would have been too weak in the centre. So just adding that to the card base, and that's the first card done. So then looking to the centre, I'm taking that little snowflake flurry from Snowflake Wishes, and I'm just going to stamp it all around the edge of the card to give a little bit of surprise on the centre of the card. So just gluing that in, and that's it. So all the others are done in the same way. So I've speeded this up even more, so you can see me adding the different sentiments. So you can see the 3 different sentiments that I chose. Not sure which one I like best, to be fair, but they all offer something different. The big sentiment there, because it filled the space more, that's what I put the border die on, because I reckon the bow would have covered some of the sentiment. So yeah, just doing some stamping there on the inside to finish those cards off, and then doing exactly the same there with the black, adding some Winker Stella there to the black card base. In retrospect, I might not have done that actually, because they're 2 different shades, so I might have preferred to leave that not done. So that I'm stamping in black, and then I decide to see what it looks like with a bit of blue. So that's Night of Navy blended, and I'm using the seam binding ribbon on that one, stamping there. I did miss a bit of stamping, so I'm sort of adding in the letters that I missed, putting the ribbon on in the same way. And I didn't gut that white card, I got loads of white card. And then Night of Navy snowflakes for the inside, and then I made the second one in exactly the same way. And I think I might like that card a bit better than all the others, because I've seen lots of sort of greys and blacks used with this paper, and actually the blue looks really nice. It's like a nice wintry sky there filled with snow. So that's those 6 cards, all very, very similar. So now we're looking at our strips. So I'm going to cut that long strip in half, and then I've got the other 2 strips, and I thought a little bit of just sort of layering and then adding something for a focal point. I think that will look really nice. So I then think about our in colours, because I was thinking about what ribbon I had that I could use with it, and I thought, let's have a pink Christmas card. So I used that blending brush on a slightly different shade of sort of red, so just blending it out so that it's ready to go in my polished pink. And so I'm just creating an ombre effect there with the ink. I wanted it darker at one end, getting lighter, and just adding a little extra at the end there, and then adding a little pink to that sort of grey piece of DSP. I love grey and pink together. I think it's a really nice colour combo. So just checking how that will look, and then thinking about what I'm going to put on it. So I'm pulling out the shimmer vellum there that's in the In Colours to add there, and then pulling out my snowflakes to add a couple of snowflakes, because that will go nicely. So I decided to go for the two that cut out and layer up together nicely using that Snowflake Wishes sentiment. And then I decided to blend some snowflakes on the card because I felt there was too much white space on the card. I wanted to add a little bit of interest. So those adorning decorative masks are sort of perfect for that. So now we're just going to stamp the sentiment, and as it's photopolymer you can see through it, so you should be able to stamp straight. However, as you will see, I don't stamp it straight. That's totally squiff, and I completely reject it, and we'll do it again. I'll use that for something else. I'll cover it, that sentiment, and use it on another card. So that's better. It's not perfect, but it is better. So now I need to add some snowflakes again to that card base. So just doing it exactly the same way to just accents on each corner. And now we can stick our strips down. Oh, lost my words then. So just looking at where they will go, I quite like them being sort of staggered, and so I just need to trim off those ends. So just kind of eyeballing to cut a little bit off, and I was going to flag the ends, but I decided just to leave them as they are. So now that just needs all gluing down, so getting the ribbon to where I want it to be. So sticking that on so it goes across the middle, but it needs anchoring on the front as well, so I need to sort of work out where the snowflake's going to be, and then just put a glue dot underneath it. That's me using a little bit of scrap there to tell me where to put it. So now we can stick those strips down and add the snowflake. So the strips need going down first, so I was just using that other strip as a marker so I know where I want it, and then sticking the bottom one down, and then going to add the snowflakes, and I'm using a bit of Stamp and Seal for it because it doesn't really show through, so I'm being really careful to add Stamp and Seal. That's a silicone mat there to stick it down, because vellum, it is hard to glue vellum because you do see through it, but as I say, Stamp and Seal is pretty good at not showing. And then I'm just going to do the other one in exactly the same way, and it will be finished off with some In Colour gems. So I've got polished pink gems just to finish off. I put the other one together in exactly the same way. I don't show it on camera, and I just, instead of brushing on some ink for snowflakes, I embossed it with that mask. So there we have it. Okay, so I went completely, well, the same but different on this last one. So changed the colours up, and I used the mask to emboss the snowflakes there. Did a little bit of flicking of Wink of Stella. I only embossed to there so that I could do my heat embossing. I Wink of Stella'd my white seam binding ribbon and that strip there. So yeah, so it's the same but different. I seem to have mislaid the pink version. There it is. I did a little bit tidying of my desk just to finish off because it was just... So there we go. So that looks completely different, but it's kind of the same. So we've got those two. We've got those. We've got our two blue ones. And we've got those two. So 8 cards out of one sheet of 12 by 12 DSP, and just these couple little bits left over. So not bad, not bad. So I hope this wasn't too long for you. I might split it up, I don't know at this stage, but yeah, so I'm not sure which I like best. Let me know what you like best. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I'll link down below to everything that I've used, and also to the blog, which will also link to my shop as well if you wish to go purchase any of these things. This paper just is stunning. And yeah, see you all again soon. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be back with another video very soon.